Guys, this is like Avatar.
This is nothing like Avatar.
Ooh. I hate that in a Pixar script, I'll be honest. That's like a Marvel quip. Why is there Avatar in the Pixar universe? Oh man, that joke really kind of took the wind out of it for me. Well, in true Pixar fashion, a trailer of course drops the moment I think I was gonna take a break. I already uploaded today, I was about to take 2 hours off, and then have a nice movie night evening with some friends. But no, Pixar's Hoppers has come into view, and I gotta be honest, I despise this trailer. Now maybe, by some act of mercy, the movie itself won't actually be too bad, but with this being a teaser trailer, it's not going to show us much on the narrative other than the core concept, which we already knew. So maybe there's not that shock factor from me. The real main thing that this trailer is pushing is the tone of this movie, and a lot of the comedy is kind of at the forefront of this 2-minute preview, and I am not for it.
And they were in the same den.
No.
Oh, they're showing vines to us. And they were roommates. I'm gonna say it right now. I have a lot of concerns for Hoppers. You've heard it probably so far. The visuals, the originals, the scale, the storytelling, the narrative plot device. I hate all of the comedy that I've seen so far. Maybe this is Pixar marketing. They're very bad at making trailers, and sometimes it's a completely different final product you get. I hate this Marvel style so far. This is outdated. Marvel jokes are outdated. Vine jokes, you could argue it's nostalgic, but it's also... And you know what? Maybe I should take a bit of a step back on that. Maybe it's okay for comedy to not be for me. It doesn't make it bad comedy, but it is pretty objectively outdated. This is the most Marvel-quipping Pixar movie I think I have ever experienced. And I haven't even experienced it. I've experienced 2 minutes. And for that alone, I'll be curious to see if a general audience will be on board with it after such Marvel fatigue.
This into this. This into this.
So let me get this straight.
You put this into this. Now maybe I'm being over cynical immediately. Although I expect by the time you're seeing this clip, I will have explained several of my concerns. But it doesn't also feel like a very, quotable line or a good Pixar joke. It's not a classic Pixar script, It doesn't take much to go this to this, this to this. That's not pushing the boundaries. But who knows, maybe this trailer will lighten me up and you'll know that with the context of the rest of this video. And it's funny, because with it being a Pixar original, I want to be rooting for it to some degree, especially because it has some major disadvantages going for it. Pixar originals, they've been on the back foot for a long time. They've got a routinely, consistently bad history recently. And a lot is kind of weighing on these originals to be good in order to not be inundated with sequels only. On top of that, we've heard all sorts of horror stories of the development hell that was Elio for a time, which took away a lot of the more personal themes of that movie that stitched it into the boring generic piece it is now, which does seem to be taking effect a little bit here, as obviously there's a little bit of an environmental vibe going on here, talking all about nature and not disrupting it and all that. But apparently that's being a little bit pulled back as well. At the same time, future Pixar movies are being given the prompt of big dynamic adventure stories rather than small-scale personal director stories, which as well is going to be pulling a little bit away from perhaps some of the emotional elements of this movie. What is going on in this movie? Okay, why was that in the same shot? That was 2 dynamically different animal bits, not gags. I mean, he was fine. Simple. I don't hate the comedy of him too much. He's just
Lunchtime! Oh no.
Yay! Oh, I just needed to play a little bit more. This movie is giving me poison damage. I saw this movie as the underdog original that it is, and I still think it's an underdog in so many lenses. This is unfixable. The narrative was already crazy generic, with themes that are going to be taken out more. With jokes like this? Oh god, this is an eye roll Pixar movie. this might be the movie that kills Pixar if people don't click onto it, or if anyone gets the same vibe that I do. But also, while I said the word prompt earlier, a particular thing for me that's concerned me in general with Hoppers and the screenshots we've gotten is that this, unfortunately, the style that they've gone for looks very, very similar, to me at least, to the generic Pixar AI prompt that you get. You know, when people search, oh, a Pixar movie style for some terrible movie idea someone's invented, this is kind of what those screenshots look like. This looks like a Pixar movie that could have been made by AI. I think at least this time, the human designs aren't as bean-like and consistent like the last few years, which is nice. It's not that different though. At the same time, there's still something about like the mouth structure is still there, whilst obviously the main bulk of this movie is going to be very fuzzy and furry, which is nice, but I do think it looks a little bit generic. And then you get to the dialogue, and I was gonna say, all right, I like how for a second there it was like Toy Story 2, and I'm like, yeah, I like that one, it's my favorite. I will say though, obviously, the disclaimer here, it's a Pixar movie. Visually, it looks astounding. It's more stylized this time. These aren't photorealistic animal designs or anything like that. But still, you can tell, you know, the quality of the animation is high. Although I'm also actually kind of concerned that it can go a little bit too stylized with the modern age, with it looking kind of like a moving AI movie for Pixar. Because Pixar has such a style, especially one they've been leaning more into consistently lately. But it looks nice, and hey, it doesn't warp like AI video, so that's nice. Is it generic? No, it's just a style, I think. Hello there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for more animated movie trailers. We'll keep up with Pixar's Hoppers for now on, and when March does come around, I'll make a review too. So stick around if you're interested in seeing more, but let's get back to the second half of our reaction to Pixar's Hoppers. I'm sorry it's so negative. It's just how I feel.
Hey.
How you doing, girl? Are we vibing? What's up?
Are we vibing? I hate that. And I bet if this was like 2 years earlier, those birds would be blue. And then we could say, wow, Twitter. And then we'd say, wow, this is just Wreck-It Ralph 2 again. Oh, I hate this. Hey, at least we get to see what a new Bug's Life movie would look like. I guess this is as close as we're gonna get. It's got like, I don't even think saying internet lingo is accurate. It's just kind of, it just feels like it's trying a bit hard, you know? Are we on good vibes? They were in the same den. You know, something about like the delivery and the expression that this movie is going for is different for a Pixar movie, but it also sounds like every Marvel movie you've heard. Like the fact that there is an in-universe version of the Avatar movies for which the Pixar movies can reference just puts a bad taste in my mouth. And I think in a lot of ways, this feels like a sort of endgame movie that's sort of eating itself in concept. Whilst actually getting back to the concept itself, yeah, there's not much to see yet. This kid who doesn't seem to get along and quite fit in with humans decides to go off and become a beaver and live in with the animals. They're then going to go on and disrupt the natural order of the natural world, and now they're going rogue even though they're meant to be very hands-off. And while I think that concept alone isn't terrible, a lot of it comes in the delivery at a time when Pixar's original deliveries just are not up to par. I don't think there is a single joke in this teaser trailer that I enjoy, and some of the other dialogue choices, I don't even know if they're jokes, just seem a little bit uninspired, you know? This is the best way I can really describe it.
Do you still wanna?
That's weird now.
Oh, and then they ruined, like the delivery I don't like, but I can get around to it. It's the vibe, the jokes, the punchlines. I despised this. This is not my thing. At all. And like, maybe there is an audience for it. Every style of comedy, I guess, is valid to somebody. This is, I don't know, man. This feels like it's aiming for like, I don't know. I guess it's just like internet language coded, but the internet moves so fast that this is already miles behind. But of course, it's only a teaser, and I could be entirely wrong, or maybe this is just a Pixar movie that's not for me, but at the same time that their biggest rival right now is Sony and the likes of K-pop demon hunters, I still think that looks far and beyond better, not to mention the execution is better, than this so far. A lot more will have to be seen as we see more previews and trailers, and maybe there'll be some kind of turnaround. But at least in regard to how the characters speak and the references they make and their sort of just stance and delivery on everything, I'm not really for it. This could always just be the Pixar marketing team trying to showcase their best, and they've unfortunately chosen a bunch of jokes that I don't like. After all, we've also seen them burn themselves with the likes of Elemental. That was secretly an immigrant story, and they hid that away into a generic love story one. But while I was all sorts concerned for all sorts of reasons beforehand, because this movie is not standing on the shoulders of the golden age of Pixar. Like, this movie is coming out in the middle of the trenches that's hopefully going to try and turn things around. Also, from everything I'm personally seeing, I am just not feeling the faith on it. For me individually.
She found the button.
No. I even liked that plot point. It's the final lines in every scene. I loved the, oh, she's gonna go rogue. It's gonna be cool. What a great development. She found the button. Oh, this is so disappointing. And if it goes anywhere close to where I expect it to, it's gonna be like watching a train wreck in slow-mo. Maybe a crowd will still adore just the narrative itself, or maybe Marvel fatigue is going away now that Superman's come out and we're in the mood for that kind of quippiness. Not that Superman necessarily had those kind of quips in it, it's just... So maybe I'm just going off on one here. But I think the bird representation has been done before by Disney, so not far away from Pixar anyway. I think the animal designs are fine, but they're just kind of simple, and they just have googly eye eyes, and that's about it, and softness. You kind of still see the vibes of like the sloth from Zootropolis, again, a Disney type of character. And honestly, the thing that I hook on most of all is probably the dragonfly shot, because it makes me think of what if there was a new Bug's Life. I don't know, man. I want to support this movie. I'm still going to see it in cinemas and hope that it does a good job, but I personally hate it. And I think it's got a lot of other red flags that it's going to try and have to handle at a time where I don't know if they're necessarily going to handle it well. I'm unfortunately usually quite cynical when it comes to a new Pixar trailer, but I think this is the most cynical I've been. Well, this'll only define Pixar for the next few years anyway. On that note, I'm going to end it off there. Hopefully, maybe my opinion's in the minority, and maybe there's a lot more positivity going around this movie. It's only early doors after all. It's just a teaser. But for now, my name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this little reaction breakdown. Certainly a breakdown of my faith, I'll tell you that much. Do tell me all your thoughts and more in regards to Pixar's Hoppers, and I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio! Oh no, it's another pop culture trailer song choice. Just like with Elio when they had to put in Queen. Oh man, Pixar marketing, please. At least that didn't appear in the actual Elio film, so I assume this song's not going to appear in actually Hoppers, but... Alright.
Oh yeah, she caught me. It's pond rules.
Okay, now I see a bit more where it's going. Like, the narrative, cool. That's fine-ish. You know, it's got its flaws. It's not going to go into environmentalism as it originally intended to, so I hear across the vine. But so far, I'm hating the delivery of most of the characters in this. It's different, but it's also... so samey. I don't know. Now I'm getting torn. Because I want to find praises for this movie. It's got a lot that it needs to do to keep things going on the good, but it's not doing a lot of good.
This revolutionary technology gives us unprecedented...
Oh, it's horrifying. It looks so disgusting. Look at it. Suddenly, when you can see behind the fur, these animatronics are horror fuel. Like, I know this is technically a thing in real life with, like, BBC animal documentaries, but,